How's everybody today?
Good.
Great.
Thanks.
You ever wonder why some things are the way they are? I know I do. Sometimes I don't, and I just take it for what it is. But in many organizations, police department, military establishments, universities, just general families, there's traditions. And the fire department is no different. There's many, many traditions in the fire department. Some of them today are not practiced because they're deemed unsafe, like riding on the hose bed, riding on the tailboard, going into fires without air. But many of these traditions are still upheld within the fire service today. I'm going to talk about 3 of them that are still active today in today's fire service. One's going to be the Maltese Cross. Second's going to be fire engines and why they're red. And then the last one is going to be helmets. My name is Ben Collier. I'm a firefighter paramedic for the city of Converse. I've been there 5 years. Before that, I was with the Fredericksburg Volunteer Fire Department for 4 years. And I live by these traditions. I try to uphold these traditions throughout the service. So let me start with a little history lesson. The Maltese Cross, stated by New York Fire Department, the Maltese Cross is a fireman's badge of honor. It's a symbol of his bravery that he works one ladder rung at a time. Long, long time ago, the Knights of St. John, Crusaders, fought for the Holy Land against the Saracens. Now the Saracens brought in a new weapon, a tool, to use against their enemies, which was fire. They made up their mixture, they poured it down the city walls, they poured it onto the enemies that tried to come fight them, and then they lit the torch and set everything on fire. Now, the Knights of St. John ran to their brothers in arms and put the fire out. And they did this for not only their brothers in arms, but for other people. And so they were considered the first firefighters. This all happened on a little island called Malta in the Mediterranean Sea. And the Knights of St. John were awarded by their actions and their bravery with a shield with the cross on it. It looked much like this right here. And because of the location, it was called the Maltese Cross. The Knights were at some time been known as the Knights of Malta. Today, we still have these Maltese crosses on some of our uniforms, department patches, our badges, and even our fire trucks. And it's a symbol of protection, and that the firefighters will lay down their lives for you, just as they did for the Crusaders back in the day. So I mentioned fire trucks earlier and why they're red. Stated by Rockland firefighters, the vast majority of fire departments today use fire engines that are red. The color is instantly known to everyone, therefore it's recognizable that's a fire engine. Back in 1800, a long, long time ago, the fire brigades were very, very competitive. They took pride, they took honor in their fire pumps, and they'd compete against the neighboring cities and towns. And so what they did was their fire pumps, they took as much brass as they could and put it on their pumps. And then they used the color red because it was the most expensive paint color at the time. So throughout the years, they continued the tradition of competition between brigades, which still happen today. And in the 1920s, Henry Ford came along. The fire trucks were still painted red because Henry Ford tried to offer the most inexpensive vehicle you could get as long as it was black. But of course, us being firemen, we got to stand out. We want to be known. We want to be recognized. So we stuck with the red. Now, not all departments use red apparatuses at this day and age. Some are yellow, some are green, some are black. But for the most part, they stay red. Now, speaking of different color apparatuses, in the fire service, we use different color helmets. Most of the time, the helmets, depending on rank. White is used for chiefs, assistant chiefs. Red is for officers or captains, lieutenants. Black is generally a firefighter, a seasoned firefighter that's been there a while. Yellow is a lemon head, a rookie, someone who knows nothing about fire service yet. So if you ever run out of a fire, run away from the yellow helmet as well. Okay? Then you got medical, which is blue, and you've got green, which is a safety officer, and that's another helmet you stay away from because we like to live dangerously. Okay? So stated by Frozen Leather, the leather helmet is a traditional international sign of a firefighter. A symbol that is significant to the early years of firefighting and tradition. But it also stands for bravery, honor, integrity, and pride. Now, a firefighter's helmet is very personal. And this is my helmet here. It's a black leather helmet. At the very top, I've got the United States flag blacked out, and it reflects in light. Here on the side, we have the Maltese Cross embedded in the leather. On this side, I've got the Twin Towers from 9/11. It says 343 on there. And of course, up front, it says Pride of Converse because I take pride in my department. And if you look on the back rim, it's got the words dedication, sacrifice, and tradition. On the inside, I carry my family with me everywhere I go. They never leave my side and I never leave theirs. And this little number that you can't see really well says 216. That 216 belongs to Charles R. Mendez. He's a brother, 38 years old, belonged to Ladder Company number 7 in Manhattan. He can no longer do the job because he gave his life as the Crusaders did for those in 9/11. And I wear this helmet for him because he can no longer do it, and he left his family behind. And I take pride in carrying on the tradition that he carried on since 1993 when he first joined the fire service. So, we talked about the Maltese Cross, fire engines that are red, and our helmets. Many of these traditions stand strong today. Some people will never understand them because they'll never be part of the organization of a brotherhood or sisterhood. But we can try to, as firemen, carry on these traditions, but most of them are unspoken. We live through them by our moral conduct, our actions, and our dedication. So I'll leave you with this. Next time you're out and about, you see a red fire truck going down the road, or a Maltese cross, or a fireman in his helmet, and maybe several with different colors. Just know that you're looking at tradition.